But it's a Rover. Yeah, but it's a GTI. You join me this afternoon outside on a lovely sunny day with the lovely Priya. You can say hello.
Hi, I have a dress.
She's got a dress on today. We've got quite a few jobs that we're going to need to get done. The car is a little bit warm at the moment. It's going to be getting this cover off, and we're going to change the spark plugs and the coil packs. Well, I say first, that's one of the jobs, but I want it to cool down for a second. But what I'm going to do in the meantime, if we come around the back, is one of the MOT advisories was the one of these lights was not working. So I'm going to double check which one of these lights is not working and get it changed so that we've got the new bulb in there. Get the new bulb in, check underneath here, because I want to see why my rear windscreen wiper's not working, and then figure that out, hopefully fix it and put it. Once I've got the trim back on, hopefully by then the engine has cooled down enough for me to take the bits off that I need and put in the new coil packs. If I've got enough time today, we'll do an oil change. If not, I've got one other thing I want to do, which I'm just going to show you here. That is a mobile phone, wireless mobile phone holder. I don't like the fact that you have a cable dangling down that you plug into the cigarette lighter. So what I'm going to do is I've got something to hardwire it in and a jump fuse. Well, you know, one of those ones where it's like two fuses in one. So I'm hoping to connect that to where the cigarette lighter is, put another 10 amp fuse in it. I think it's 10 amp. And then hopefully hide the wire away underneath through the A-pillar and then out the top. So there's no wire in the way. That way I've always got a wireless phone charger up quite high. The reason why I've done it quite high is because it's sort of out of our here. It's just below where the rear view mirror is, and yeah, it still connects via Bluetooth to my stereo, which is down the bottom, and I'm sure you would have seen me struggling to install that in a video previously. So that's hopefully the jobs for now. You can say hello.
Hi.
Right, we're going to get on and start the work. What do you want to say?
I have a pen that I say check up, but only if I do work with my dad. And the lip balm is for my lips.
That's
Bye.
right. Priya's got some lip balm and she's got an electronic notepad, so she's going to be checking off the jobs as we go along. So let's her get on with it.
Bye. Bye.
Job number one, got myself some 239 C5Ws. I won't take them out of the box just yet. I need to just turn the car on, check which one of these bulbs is out, which is done by turning on the lights. Turn the engine off, unplug the battery, open up the back of this and swap the bulbs out. To be fair, what I could do is just swap the two bulbs out as one, because they're cheap enough anyway, but no, it's all about penny pinching, isn't it? Because I am driving a cheap old Rover at the end of the day. I say cheap, it cost me a load of money to run, but let's pinch some pennies. Right, so let's get on with this. So Priya's going to turn the key for me. So if you want to turn the key, 1, 2, and then turn it hard and hold it. Hold it. That's it. Good girl. It's all right. So we got the keys on. So
Do I have to stay in the car?
you can stay in the car if you want to stay in the car. So turn the lights on. So let's go over to the back. So that's the one that's working. That's the one that's not working. So this is the one that we're going to have to replace. Right, can you turn the keys to turn the engine off now? Turn it back the way it was. That's it. Good girl. Oh, sorry, that beeping sound was because I left the lights on. Yeah, you can stay in the car if you want to stay in the car. No worries. Right, we've got to move on to the next step of this. You watch me do this live at the moment. You can. Just give me 1 second while I unplug the battery. A little bit of foreshadowing. Look at that, battery out. I need to get a new one of these caps, because every now and again when I'm driving, if I go over something bumpy, this comes off. And then the car don't start afterwards once I've turned it off, which is not good for it. So now that we've done that, all we've got to do is
Hi, Dad.
unscrew this bad boy. Say hello.
Hi, I am sitting in my dad's front seat.
That's correct. Right, let me go unscrew this. All right, so that was successfully changed out, that light. So now I'm just going to plug the battery back in. Priya, do me a favour, can you turn the engine on for me, please? All right, twist it 1. That's it. Right, let go. Thank you very much. Oh, and then what we need to do is turn the lights on. So hang on a second, Pri. So we turn the lights on, and that's working. but that's still not working. So do you know what that says to me? It's actually not the bulb that's broken. There's some form of electrical thing that's broken, whether it's in here or whether it's in here. So next thing I'm going to do is okay, turn off the engine for us then. Right, I'm going to turn off the engine. I'm going to unplug the battery again, and now what I got to do is take that back bit apart. Sorry? You can go out the back now. It's just hanging out the back of the car with me. Right, let's get this done. This is the rear part that houses all of the electronics for the boot. It's a load of clips and 2 screws. One screw was already undone. Hey ho, easy life for me. So I undid one screw, pull these clips out, which now shows me this. I've got my helper hanging out the back of the car. So it shows me all the back of this. So what I'm going to have to do is have a little look at the electronics for this one. So that's that one. And then this one, oh, can you see it?
Yeah.
Is up here. Hang on a second. Let's turn that light on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to have to check these wires, see what's going on. This is the pipe that should be shooting out water, which looks like it's full of something nasty. So what people have told me is either this bit goes wrong or something can go wrong further down in here. So I'm going to have to test this and see if we can get this bad boy working, because if this works, then that means we can then get the rear wiper working, which is on the back here. So let's do the next bit, investigation. Right, so I thought, do you know what, this is a bit strange, because I had a little look at the bulb and, oh, let's open that up. That's the bulb I took out, that's the bulb I've got. It says everywhere that I'm supposed to use these 239 ones, but I took the working one out, put it in that side, and it actually works. So I have a feeling that this isn't a 239, I think this is a 269. So plugged everything back in, had a little test, tried it out, and yeah, looks like I've got to go buy a different bulb. So let me sort this bit out first. Let me do some of the jobs that I wanted to do, and then I'll have to go out and grab the right bulb. Okay, so sit rep. Priya and I, what we did was undo all of this, take all of this bit off the back. So what I probably should have done is tested it while it was like this first, but I didn't. What I ended up doing was testing it while it was like this. So yeah, let me put it in the 0.6 so you get a bit better view. So I took that apart, there's a cable in there, or not a cable, a pipe. Pulled one part of the pipe off, turned the car on, and had her twist the dial so the water would shoot out this because I couldn't see it. So that worked. Connected the pipe back up, had it disconnected here. And you can see, I don't know if you can see the dampness. Took this apart, water shoots out of this one. I mean, you can see a few droplets there, and you can see the residue on the ground. That's fine. Plugged it back into this, doesn't work. Where I've got this cap here, took that up because you can just lift this up, so you know. This thing looks rusted and disgusting. This bad boy, tested it like that, does not work, and it definitely doesn't work when that cap's down. So from the seams of things, the problem has got nothing to do with the pipe. Pipe's completely fine. It's actually this bit here. So there's nothing I can do about that until I either get, I don't think you can replace this. So it might have to be a case of a replacement rear window wiper, which to be fair isn't too bad because this one needed to be reconditioned a little bit anyway because it is looking a little worse for wear. So what I'm going to do is, I suppose, check how much it's going to cost for me to get one of these. And to be fair to that, what I actually need to do as well is I might as well do a whole wiper thing, because the wipers on the front, it'd be nice to get some mist versions of these or some heated ones. Apparently the cabling for the heated ones is around somewhere, which will be a nice little upgrade. But as for the wipers, you can see just there, can you see just there? There's like a little dent where it kept banging into it. So I adjusted them, but now they sit quite high. So if I show you from the inside of the car, they sit quite high in comparison to where they should be. So I have a feeling that I'll need a new wiper motor because that doesn't work quite well. And it is a bit knackety looking. So yeah, so that so far is job number 2. Hasn't gone particularly well. So I've not been able to change a bulb and I've not been able to fix the wiper. So what I'm going to do now is just put the back on that one for the time being, and I still need to go out and get a bulb because I need to go out and get some parts for an outside tap I'm going to be installing a little later because man's putting down some turf. Right, let me move on to the next bit, which I'm hoping is going to be the replacement of the spark plugs and the coil packs, and hopefully that goes better than these other jobs. Okie doke. Right, let's unplug this battery. Come on, off you get. Look how easy this is to come off. Look, don't even have to unscrew it. That's what I mean. I need to get a new one of these cap bits on here. So this is a 10, this is an 8. Let's take this cover off. Now I've got the cover off. Oh, let's go back to 0.6. As you saw in my previous video, I want to swap these out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Core pack 1 is connected to HTLE 0.4. So 1, 4, 3 is connected to 2. We've got 2 bolts here that I'm going to have to take out. I'm going to have to take these off. And then once I've got them out, what I'm going to do beforehand is attach in the coil packs, and then I will remove the sparks, or I'll see which way I'll do it. Let's take these out first. Right, we're unbolted now, as you can see, loose, loose. Oh, so what I'm going to do is take this one out first, unclip, and connect you up first, and then I'm going to remove the spark plug using Halford's wonderful spark plug removal tool, which is a 16mm is what you need. It's 10mm thread, but it's 16mm is what you need to take these in and out. So let's do that now. So I've pulled the first spark out. FYI, if you haven't got one of those little plungery tools, because I use that to unscrew it, but then I couldn't physically get my fingers down to do that. I'll just use the coil pack to stick onto the top. So you can see on this one here, it's a bit white, which usually means that the car potentially is running lean or it's running hot. Yeah, so which kind of would make sense if there's a misfire, because maybe there's a bit too much fuel in the combustion chamber. I don't know. Right, I'm going to put the first one back in. So let's do it. So spark plug number 1 is installed. It's under here. I've just popped the new coil pack on the top. Just going to screw this bad boy in place. Actually, I won't screw that in just yet. I'm going to do these ones first, because that one there is going to be my worst one. So let me just go through and get these changed now. But at least now that's in there, I know where it's going to what. And here is spark plug 4, which decided to stay in here and is very oily indeed. Which begs the question, is the oil, oh, there you go. Is the oil coming from, are you going to focus? Come on. There we go. How oily that is. Is the oil coming, or was it coming from the rocker cover? So it was coming from the top, which I have a feeling it was, and then seeping through. Or did that oil come from further down in there? Let's turn the light on, see if we can see anything. It look oily down there? Looks oily in it. I think what I'm going to have to do is, before I put a new spark in there, is that needs a clean. Let me see if I can focus on it. It's going to focus. It's the best it will do. Oh, there we go. Gonna have to clean that. And weirdly enough, this one in here, focus on that. Are you gonna focus in? This one I can't get out. As in, like, I put the thing in there, to go screw it around, but it looks like there's a little bit of debris inside here. Like, just, oh, you can't see it, but there's a little bit of debris just inside there. So I'm going to have to get something to get that debris out. And then once I've got that out, hopefully I'll be able to get the spark plug out. So at the moment, I can't take that out. And this one needs to be cleaned. So I'm going to clean this one first and then sort with that debris in a minute. And I'm back. So managed to change that spark plug out. I've cleaned out the hole with some blue roll and some cleaner. That's all cleaned out, new sparks in it. This one, on the other hand, so I've pretty much just spent the last 15 minutes, let me put it back onto here, trying to find out what that is. It looks like, if I zoom in or focus on it. Can I zoom in on that? Will it let me zoom in? Oh, look at that. I didn't realize I could do that. Look, it's a washer. And I've been trying as hard as I can to try and get that washer out, but I just can't get it out. So I need to get like some really long needle nose pliers to get that bad boy out. But what I'm going to do for the time being, HT lead back in, just going to put the old coil pack back in, because it has been running with that in there. I know I probably shouldn't, but I'm going to, just so that I can keep the car running. Need to bolt the new one in. And yeah, so this is job number 3. Not successfully completed, because I need another part, or a tool rather, so that I can get what's wrong out of the car. So we've not been able to fix the lights, so we need a new light bulb. We've not been able to fix the wiper, because we're going to need a new rear window wiper jet / regulator, because I think it's all one unit. Can't do all the spark plugs and change the coil packs, because the blooming, there's a part in there. Oh well, it's just one of those days, in the words of Limp Bizkit, where you don't want to get up, everything's, you know, the track. Right, let me put these bits back together. I'm then going to hop in my other car, because it's probably not a good idea to drive this one at the moment, and go get the 2 parts that I want. I was going to drive this, but no, I'll be driving that instead. So let me go do that now. Right, so I probably shouldn't have turned it on, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to turn it on and live life dangerously. It's worked with that bit in there. It's going to keep working with that bit in there. So put it all back together. As you can tell, ticking away. Do you know what? When I was looking at that spark plug, I'll show it to you again after I've done this and after I've gone and got the bits that I need to do a proper job. It was definitely oil coming from the top that was getting down into it. You can see a little bit on my driveway. I'll clean that up, but it was oil coming from the top. So yeah, that's sorted. Just got to go get the tool now. Oh, hang on, there's the other one. 1 sec. Come say hello. Oh, what? You got your horse? All right. Right, let me take you over to this side. I'm still getting a, if anything, that misfire potentially is slightly worse. And I think the reason why it's slightly worse is probably going to be because that one where that little bit is probably not sitting properly where it needs to be. So yeah, still not been able to figure it out. Hopefully I will figure it out. Going to turn the engine off now, go buy the bits I need, and go hopefully get it fixed. Evening everybody. Ever so quickly, you'll see this linked into the rest of my video. I was like, do you know what, it's annoying that absolutely nothing has gone right with the car today. So I thought I'm going to go down to Halfords, check, see if I've got the right bulb. So if I show you that, as you can see here, I do have the right bulb. That is a piece of tinfoil that I've just put on at the moment. And these are the right bulbs. The only thing is though, at some point I think they've gotten longer, because all the ones I looked at do not fit. They're all way longer than what this holder is. And my old bulb, which is here, is actually, if I put that on top of there, ever so slightly smaller than the ones that you actually get nowadays. So it turns out that the fault, let me turn that off a second. As you see, nothing's on at the moment. The fault is the fact that this is too short. So I just use a little bit of tinfoil to test it. So if I turn the car on, turn the lights on, there we go, because I don't want the beeping. Both of them working. Now, I can't leave that as it stands like that. I'm just going to turn this off a minute. There we go. Turn the lights off. I don't want them beeping at me. So I can't leave it like that because it might be considered a fire hazard. I don't know. So what I'm going to do is get some pliers and then bend the prongs out a little bit so it should be able to fit the new light. So yeah, that however is a job for tomorrow morning, so at least I know that that works. Tomorrow as well, I'm then going to get on and hopefully order myself a new rear wiper, or if I can, I'm going to have a look tonight, see if I can find the spray nozzle for it. And I've ordered some long needle nose pliers, so hopefully I'll be able to get that hoop, that, what's it called? Hoop, O-ring, washer. Hopefully I can get that washer out of that spark plug hole, because I have a feeling maybe that's the reason why I'm getting a misfire, because maybe that core pack's not contacting properly. So it could be. Anyway, it's enough for now. It's a Saturday evening. It's been a nice warm day. Not a lot of productivity, but I suppose that's all part of the journey, isn't it? So I'll see you tomorrow when we attempt to try and fix some of these things. It is now Sunday, and if I turn the camera, you'll see that I'm back, taking that coil out, and this is the washer that was inside there. So now, when you look in, let's turn the torch on. Can you see? It's a bright sunny day, so I don't know how well it's going to focus in there. But you can see there's nothing down there now. So I've now just got to remove that last spark plug, swap it out for the new one, and put the new core pack in. So I won't make you watch me do it again. So by the power of magic, let's just make it already done. And as if by that, it has magically been completed. There we have it. what am I talking about? We've got ourselves our new coil packs, or 4 new spark plugs, 2 new coil packs, our 2 HT leads. Everything's all plugged in nicely. I might tidy that cable up a little bit. I don't like the way that that's sitting. Yeah, it looks a bit rough. I'll tidy that up in a second before I start the engine over. This is the old coil pack. That is the old spark plug that was on it. Let's see if we can focus in. Look at that. You can see it was also getting some oil in it. That is filthy. Like, the tip. Let's see if we can focus. You can focus? Let's try that again. There you go. Tip's not too bad. There's a little bit of whiteness on it. Just, yeah, on that side. There we go. Tiniest amount, but I think a little bit of oil must have been trickling into this one as well, so it was getting there. And it's not like number 4 where it was coated in it, but it was definitely getting some oil in there. I mean, you can see how dirty this bit here is. But we got these in. Let me just quickly make the cables look a little prettier because I don't like the way that they're sitting. And then we'll do a start up. It'll probably misfire. I have a feeling it'll probably still misfire a little bit at the beginning, just because of it, you know, needing to warm up and everything, but we'll see how it goes. Right, so let's put the battery terminal back on, should I say. So we got our battery connected. Look at that, this is the professional way to make sure that it's attached, because based on my mechanicking skills, I might as well be a professional Rover mechanic now, because I'm just making it up a little bit as I go along. No, I'm only joking. But I mean, those guys clearly were skilled when they were creating stuff in the first place. But let's start the car. Right. Have we got power? Yes, we do. Make sure I'm not in gear, because short-lived if I am. And right. Press it nice and high, as I'm supposed to at the beginning. Let's have a little listen to the engine. Sounds exactly the same as the way it normally should. It smells quite rich at the moment, but then again I have to start it off. It's sounding better. I don't hear any of those little backfires, those little sputters. So this could be a success. What I'm going to do now is I'll turn it off quickly, put the lid back on. I might let it sit. Well, no, I won't do that. I'll let it idle for a little longer, give it about 10-15 minutes, then probably take it for a drive, and then see how things go once it's all warmed up. I'll let you know. So it's better. He says it's better. It's still doing it a little bit. I don't know if you can hear it. Yeah, but. So, given that it's slightly better and it's still doing that, and I suppose the fact that the tops of some of the spark plugs were white. I know 2 were oily. One was kind of oily, one was very oily. One was a little white and one was very white. Means that it could be running lean, I'm guessing, which means that the air fuel ratio is wrong. So it could be a TPS fault, or it could be an O2 sensor. But I'm just stabbing in the dark with this stuff now, because I haven't got the capability in order to scan the car, and no engine management lights coming up because it's still running. Yeah. Let me take it for a little drive. I'll pull up, see what's happening, because I don't get the misfire when I'm driving. It only seems to be when it's sat at idle, so it could be the O2 sensor, it could be the MAF sensor. Is it MAF? I think it is. Or TPS sensor, I think people had said that could be a fault. Let me go for a drive, and then we'll see what happens. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to unplug the MAF sensor and see what happens when I do that. Let me do that. I've unplugged the sensor. You can hear that the reds have picked up, and it's actually gotten terrible. So yeah, that sensor is definitely working, and that's not the fault. So I'm now going to plug that bad boy back in, because yeah, there we go. There we are, back to normal. Yeah, so we know it's definitely not that one. That leads only to one thing. It might still be an O2 sensor, which I believe is located, connected to that. It's somewhere inside that exhaust shield. So I'll have to take this off somehow. I'm guessing through that rusty old bolt once it's cooled down. Looks like it connects there as well. There maybe, yeah it does. But that also holds this sort of stuff on. Right. And then I'm guessing it'll be hidden underneath this shielding somewhere. So I'm going to take it for a little drive, see how it goes, and then I guess the next port of call is trying to get a new O2 sensor. God knows how much that's going to cost me. Cool. So you rejoin me, having just driven the car. I had to go to Screwfix to drop off a plumbing part that I did not need. So yeah, it's given me enough time, about 20-25 minutes in order to drive the car. Well, I say that I've also been to Halfords. I don't know if you can see in the background, but I've bought some more flooring mats for my garage, which I'm doing up. Yeah, so I don't think the misfire has gone away. Changing the spark plugs, changing the coil packs. If I'm honest with you, the car actually feels slightly more sprightly, so it feels like it's got a bit more of a spring in its step. So it's very clearly done something, which, winner, that's a positive. However, with respects to getting rid of the misfire, no, it definitely has not done that at all. Well, I say that's a fib. No, it seems to have reduced it a little bit, although the misfire is still there to some extent. Every now and again it gets it just sounds a little bit like it's like a little bit of backfire, I guess it'll be blowback. I don't want to call it blowback. Blooming. So yeah, it not exactly completed it. Taking out that TPS sensor, as you just saw, didn't do anything but increase the revs and then basically make the car want to kill itself. So it's not got anything to do with the TPS sensor. The only thing I can think of now is it's going to have to be the O2 sensor, or lambda sensor. From having a little look online, apparently there's two, one pre-cat, one post-cat. The one post-cat is the one that's probably working, because that's the reason why I'm guessing my emissions are okay, because I didn't get any flags for my emissions when I had my MOT done, bearing in mind that this misfire has been here for ages. So there's a good possibility that that's okay, but it'll be the one that's pre-cat. No, post-cat's the one that's okay. The pre-cat is the one that's not okay, I believe. That's even if this has got one that is post-cat. It's really difficult to keep track of pre's and posts. So yeah, which means I need to take off the exhaust, not the exhaust manifold, it's in the exhaust manifold. I'll need to take off the exhaust shield so that I can then get access to it, which means I'll need one of those little tools that are required for removing O2 sensors, because apparently they're a pain in the bum, and these tools that you can get, they're only about a tenner. You attach it to your ratchet and it should make life a little easier. So I'm going to have to do that. Still, in conclusion, over my 2 days, this weekend has been a selection of success and not success. So initially we tried to change that light bulb, which should have been the easiest job of the day. Didn't work. Turned out it's because the new light bulbs that you get are a different size, so because of that the contacts weren't connecting it. After checking those bulbs and then testing them, it turns out that I needed to, well, the example that I'd show you, I think the only example in the video was me wrapping a little bit of tinfoil around it to make it work, which is some proper 1960s bodgery. So I binned that off, moved the metal prongs apart, or the connectors apart, and now it sits in there very tightly, may I add, but it's in there and it works. What did we then try and do? We then tried to sort the rear washer out. Turns out that the pipe work is completely fine, and the problem itself is with the washer jet. I've got no way of trying to clean that, so unless I can think of something in the meantime, I think what I'm going to have to do is just replace it. Had a little look on eBay. You can pick them up for £28. That's the full unit, including the washer jet itself. So although the wiper mechanism works, I think I'm going to have to replace the whole thing to get a washer jet that works. Although then again, unless I can get some form of compressed air somehow and blast that through it, maybe like if I go fill my tyres up, but instead of filling my tyres up, I just shoot some compressed air through it. Oh, I actually do have a pump at home that's normally used to fill tyres up, so maybe I can use that. I'll give that a blast, and if it works, happy days. If not, then I guess I'll be buying another one. Then what did we try and do? We attempted to swap the spark plugs over, which turns out that I was not able to do that straight away because there was that washer that was in spark plug number 3. However, we did 1, 2, looked at the tips of the spark plugs, saw that they were white at the tip, which means that the car's probably running a little bit lean, so getting too much air into it. However, I suppose another element to it is, I don't know if they upgraded the throttle body on this to the MG ZR one, which I think is a 52mm as opposed to a 48. That also could be another issue. I might have a look at that as well. But yeah, so the 1 and 2, white tips on the end. Number 4, coated in oil. You could very clearly see though that the oil had come from the top, seeped through, and then covered the spark plug itself. So I'm pretty confident that all that oil came from the rocker cover gasket, which we'd fixed in a previous video. Got that one out. Then the following day we managed to get spark plug number 3 out. Spark plug number 3 still had some oil on the top of it, and I don't think was being contacted correctly via the coil pack. But since we've got them all out, we had all the coil packs changed, we'd already done the HT leads. HT leads were fine as well, there was no more additional oil residue, so I didn't need to replace those again. So yeah, long story short, we actually did manage to get those spark plugs done. We did manage to get the coil packs changed. HT leads were already done. We fixed the light on the back, which was, like I say, supposed to be the easiest job, but turned out to be a pain in the bum job. We haven't sorted out the misfire, which at the moment I'm thinking it's an O2 sensor, but now thinking about it, I better check the size of the throttle body, because this car had been owned by somebody before, and I'm sure I read on a forum page that they swapped out the throttle body for a slightly larger one from a 160. So there's a good possibility that it could be that. If it is that, then, well, there's not a lot I can do without changing the throttle body back, which I suppose I'd have to look into getting, because some people say that when you swap the throttle bodies out for the wrong sized ones, they actually reduce power. Unlike Rover's classic, let's make the 1.4 84 horsepower instead of 104, we'll put a restrictive throttle body on it. This very much is, no, it's tuned to be where it needs to be. But then again, I suppose if it is the throttle body, it opens up the question, should I just go and get in contact with someone like K-Maps and get a map DCU? Because a map DCU could make good use of that throttle body and then hopefully bump me up from the 143 horsepower, which I'm supposed to be getting, don't know if I am, but to something a little bit more exciting. Maybe even bring me close to the 160, unlikely, but it might give me that little extra. They say a 10% boost, which I believe is, what would that be? 4 horsepower, 5 horsepower from that, so I might get close to 150, you never know. Yeah, and then of course we attempted to swap that rear washer over, and that didn't work, except I might have an idea and have a look at it at home again. If I am able to sort it out, I'll drop it in at the end of the video. But despite the fact, this is working on cars for you, so I appreciate the fact that everybody's come along for the ride with me. I appreciate the opportunity. I say opportunity, I'm glad you enjoy watching the videos. If you do, please like, subscribe, drop some comments down. I'd really appreciate it if anybody's got any experience in this area, whether their cars have misfires, whether they know what to do with it, or whether you've had a remap by K-Maps on a 143 horsepower. I'm guessing it would most likely be in like a BBC F, because those were a lot more common, or rather they're still a lot more common on the road than what the 25 GTIs are. It'll be really interesting to know what you got out of it, and if there is anybody out there that swapped throttle bodies over, did they make difference? Do they make issues? I don't know. So yeah, but I suppose it's a lesson well learned today, working on cars. Sometimes it goes the way you want it to, which was a bit more like today. Sometimes it doesn't go the way you want it to, which was yesterday, and it was very stressful. I'd like to throw a thanks out to my daughter Priya for giving me some assistance earlier on in the video. I always do appreciate the company, and I'm sure many people know, working with your children around, sometimes they can get under your feet a little bit, but it's nice for them to be involved. And at the end of the day, I mean, well, what can you say? You got to love your kids. I love my kids, so it's nice for them to be involved with me, particularly on a nice warm day like this. And yesterday was quite warm, so yeah, it was good. Anyway, I'm on my way home now. I'm not defeated. I'm ready for the next challenge, which hopefully is replacing an O2 sensor and fixing this issue. And if it don't fix this issue, then giving somebody else some money to try and fix it. Maybe that's what I should do. That's the power of capitalism. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. As I said before, please like, subscribe, drop us a comment. I really appreciate the feedback. I really appreciate the support and the following. I'm loving still doing it, even if it is a pain in my backside. I hope you guys enjoy my little rambles on, and I hope you enjoy watching me try and fix these things. In fact, if you've got any answers, let me know. Until the next one, have a great day or a great afternoon, and if you're sat on a loo, have a great poo. Bye bye.